down.
Read these sections.
Ordinance 277, 2019, Section 2, the City Council of the City of Crittenden does hereby levy an ad valorem tax at the rate of $0.190 upon $100 of assessed value of all real property subject to ad valorem taxation by the City of Crittenden for the year 2019. Section 3. The City of Crittenden, or the City Council for the City of Crittenden does hereby levy the ad valorem tax at the rate of $0.190 upon each $100 of assessed value of all personal property subject to ad valorem taxation by the City of Crittenden for the year 2019.
A motion to change that? Where we have that?
Yes, we don't have it.
Thank you, council. Wonderful. Also, the next on the new business list is the first reading of ordinance 278, 2019, the short-term rental agreement, the Airbnb. Is that ready?
Megan, did I ever see the final version?
No.
Okay, I may not have. Was getting input and
So did the input that we gave you go to Alex?
probably not. I was going to wait to send it to Alex and Megan when I got all the final revisions, and maybe I did not do that. Just waiting and then forgot to send it. The notes came in.
Just from a protocol standpoint, I think some of us, I sent some input to Alex thinking, I don't know why, because I thought he was the primary author. So he may have information from council that he can add as well. So
Maybe
That's just a nuisance.
I apologize. You are right. I'm wrong.
Yes.
Peace.
Sorry.
So we need to table that?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, at least for the moment. I may be able to find it here, but
I think
maybe come
I
back.
think it would be good to share with everybody that we are addressing it, and we know that people want that, and that we are trying to move forward with it. Somebody just dropped the ball.
The ordinance is being written at this time for the Airbnb. It has some different restrictions and different things that's going on for the city of Crittenden. People that are, there's a couple that has came to the city council on Airbnb, and with Airbnb, it's great. Most people come in for that, for, see the art and what have you. But there is some things that we'd like to see in there that protects the citizens of Crittenden, and such as loud noises, parties, how many stays in a home, and that nature. So they're working on that ordinance as of right now. They're still working on it, and we will table that till the next council meeting on October 1st at 7 p.m. Mr. Todd Cummins, do you have a Deputy Sheriff Todd Cummins?
Yes, ma'am.
Chief Deputy, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Just don't call me late for supper. For the month of August, the total number of calls was 459 total calls in the city. There's some highlighted ones: 66 traffic stops, 23 accidents. I really didn't separate the ones with injuries or not injuries. 34 papers served, 10 warrants served. We also did make a relatively large drug seizure on a warrant. We seized 101 grams of methamphetamine out of a house in Crittenden. So there was 2 arrests made out of that, and another one coming soon.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I'm still hearing complaints about not seeing patrol, so, just relate that. And, I think that's the only thing that I've been hearing.
Yeah, like I said, took 459 total calls for the month, and we're out here. Like I said, that's the second, we made another pretty good drug bust, and then this one here this last week
I'm not doubting that.
with 101 grams of meth, so that's a good one there.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else?
You're still at full staff now?
Yes. Well, we're down one from when he left, but we're in the process of going through the applications, we're to start the process to hire that one, but, so we're not full staff, we are down one.
Was that the young man that was on the
He was
bicycle?
on the bicycle, yes ma'am.
They made 3 arrests at once.
Yes, sir. Yes, he did.
All right, thank you.
Anything else?
Chief Burton couldn't be with us tonight for the fire department report. And I would like to announce that Chief Burton has decided to come on board as the code enforcement officer for the city. And I think he will do a wonderful job. And just to announce that this evening.
So he'll be able to do the fire protection and the code enforcement?
Yeah, he's retired from most of his duties as far as EMT with other cities. So generally about 24 hours a week, something like that. I think he's a big asset to the city already, and I think that he'll do a wonderful job. He works well with people, and I think he'll do a great job. Next on the agenda, we had discussed the 208 North Main Street property, possible executive session. At this time, I would like to let you guys know that we have 3 bids on the survey, the lowest being $1,300 to survey that property. And really, I don't see any need to go in executive session on that. If you guys could agree on that until we get that surveyed. No price to be discussed until that time.
Sounds good to me, that's a
It
reasonable
looks nice
price.
where it got mowed today.
Yeah, I've been on it. It's been great.
We talked at the last meeting too about whether it should be highway commercial or whatever it is. And I think we had an action item to go back and look at the zoning ordinances and what was appropriate. And I did that myself, and my opinion is it should be highway commercial because it's surrounded with highway commercial. So let's just, one councilman's opinion.
We would need to get that application with Becky Ruoff and start that process.
Well, I'm asking for the other council people, persons of endorsement, agreement, what they think, and should it be something else as far as zoning at 208? Or have you guys had time to look at it? Do we need to wait and do that for an executive session?
Well, also, has anybody gotten any price comparisons of what the property's going for sale around it? Does anybody have a map of what this section, like the property right behind is going for what? $1 million?
Right.
So,
Just shy of-
so if we can do maybe a price comparison and have a real estate agent give us, that's what they get paid for. And we don't pay them. They come up with the property listing around the areas of Crittenden with the property, what is it? Zoned for, and how many acreage, and how much they want for it, which will give us an idea of how much they ask for.
Melton did that, I'm sorry. Melton did that as far as
The other property around
comparisons
it,
with other property,
great.
like out where Sadie is and that property out there.
Do we have a,
He came up with 450.
do we, can council get a list of the property around the area to see what it's going for that he did?
We can try.
Is any of it for sale? I mean, is it listed?
No, just what it was sold for.
Yeah.
The different properties that he looked at is for comparison.
But none of the property that's for sale in the area, to compare price, okay, that might be helpful when we
It's
start
usually a sale
asking for it.
price. They do the comps on sale.
On sales, yes.
Yeah.
Also, Danny, we've got a call this week and try to get a dumpster out there so JD can get started on
And
Good.
another question I wondered that goes along with what you're asking, is there, and this might be a good question for Melvin or whoever, would the value of the property change depending on the zoning?
Yeah, that's a good question. We'd have to ask the realtor.
And maybe just get his opinion on, what if we did this and what if we did that, and, not,
That's a good deal.
I'll work on that this week. Any more questions on that? Comments? Ms. Council Humphreys, you had some citizen comments?
I do. I have, so I have a little something I'm gonna share with you guys, and, I'm gonna take the podium if you don't mind. So, I'm going to read a letter that I prepared in response to some questions that I've been asked by residents of the community. And I don't really know how to handle this, so I'm just going to put it out there, so let you all decide how you want to handle it. So, dear council members, mayor, legal counsel, city employees, and residents of the community, today I have decided that I need to share some facts with each of you and the citizens of Crittenden. I would like to first let you know that I take no pleasure in this address and hold no ill will toward this mayor or any employees of this city. I preface this information with the statement that there may have been some improper spending of the city's money, or maybe not. But because of that potential, I believe all the facts should be fully revealed as I know them, so that this council, the citizens, and the legal community can make informed decisions going forward. I've been trying to go through the proper channels to quietly resolve this sensitive public matter, but now I believe we have come to a point where questionable spending of the city's money must be addressed by this council. One of the reasons I've decided to come forward in this manner is that I was visited recently by a highly respected member of Crittenden who shared with me the following documents. You have those 3 documents in front of you. And they deal with the following. Number 1, elected official salaries cannot be changed during their term, according to KRS 83A.070. Number 2, city officers shall not fill 2 separate municipal offices at the same time, KRS 61.080. Number 3, if a city official or officer accepts another city office or employment that is incompatible with the first one, he or she vacates the first office, according to KRS 61.090. So to note, in reference to that, number 3, Mayor Patton took 2 separate oaths of offices, one for mayor in December of 2018, and a separate oath of office as ABC Administrator on April the 8th, 2019. In providing me with this information, I was told that we, as a council, must deal with this issue appropriately, or we would be considered complicit if illegal activity was determined at some later date. He went so far as to say that because Ms. Patton has accepted an additional sworn position, that she no longer is eligible to serve as mayor and had essentially vacated the office. So I went on my own search to find out if this is true. I found from another legal authority that there were clear guidelines that define public officer. Namely, that Kentucky's highest court set forth 5 elements that define a public office. In the case of Howard versus Saylor, and I can give you the reference if anybody wants it, and they are as follows. The office must be created by the Constitution or by the legislature or by a municipality or other body through authority conferred by the legislature. It must possess a delegation of a portion of the sovereign power of government to be exercised for the benefit of the public. The powers conferred and the duties to be discharged must be defined directly or implied by the legislature or through legislative authority. The duties must be performed independently and without control of a superior power other than the law, unless they are those of an inferior or subordinate office, created or authorized by the legislature and by it placed under the general control of a superior officer or body. It must have some permanency or continuity and not be only temporary or occasional. These 5 elements can be found in the definition of officer in KRS 83A.010 subsection 10, along with 3 others added by the Kentucky General Assembly, which those 3 are: it requires an official oath, it is assigned by a commission or other written authority, and number 3, it provides for an official bond if required by proper authority. Another legal source pointed me to KRS 241.160 subsection 1 that requires the city legislative body in a city our size is responsible to create the office of city ABC administrator or assign the duties to an established city office. In light of this KRS, I realized that the previous council completed this task